Now as for the transformation to planet boats, I'm literally going to do it while the video is playing on the background and my 3D printer literally is just printing. Yeah, I'm not kidding. I am not gonna pause this shit. Yeah, this is gonna be a chaotic damn transformation section, isn't it? So let's begin with the creator of Transformers, Primus, which is literally their god, by literally just rotating the guns like so. Hold on. Hold it up. And make sure that you have your disgusting fingers and just make sure that everything is straight. If you are not straight, then this is not gonna work for you. Yeah, I said it. Fight me. This is stupid. Anyway, making everything straight up, and then just pull your finger. It's easier that you have a platter key, but I'm no pussy. Just make sure everything is aligned. Remove these Lego boots because I literally got this used and it didn't came with any parts. I don't care. Anyway, just rotate it. And yeah, you don't need a platter key to literally, well, rotate these pieces. And then you just do that. Fold up the heels. Make sure everything is aligned. Just crumple up together like so. And then fold up these knee panels. And then you just take your thumb and then just do that. See? Very simple. And here you have Primus in his planet mode, and yeah, I love it. Anyway, let's just put him on the side and let's focus on his big brother and chaotic being Unicron, aka 01 Studio Cell. And yeah, I do recommend that you use a part separator when you do it, because this is gonna be an insane transformation. So let's get started with the upper part of the body. Let me just sorry, just do that. If you think I'm just gonna do it regularly, you are out of your mind. People are not gonna watch this shit anyway. So to make this a little bit more special, I'm just gonna have music and sounds playing on the background because I don't give a crap anymore. Tell me in the comments if you don't like it, which I doubt you will. I think you're gonna like it. Anyway, just rotate the horns like so, or you can do it like so. Anyway, it doesn't really matter because everything is gonna be, well, simplified. Now you can have these on or with the transformation, but just to make it a little bit simpler, let's just remove these parts. And if you're gonna talk, oh, pause for it, then I don't care, kiss my ass. Okay, remove the wings for now. And of course the head, because that's literally how Cell literally was packaged before. Yes, pause for him, but then again, this is a feature. His head does come off in the film, so it doesn't matter. Anyway, just hold on. Make sure that the shoulders are extended like so. And then you just open up the chest. Make sure that his, well, neck, these neck pelvises, cradle, his mouth is literally folded up. And make sure that you do it like so. Just hinge up like so. Then you just fold up his teeth. You can use your part separator if you want to. But yeah, the fact that this whole area that is literally, yeah, his entire collar becomes his mouth. It's outstanding. Anyway, just like before, just open up the panels here and you can see the interiors are well sculpted. And just entirely, the body itself, which I will show you. You can see references from the 86 movie. They didn't have to do that, but my god, kudos to 01 Studio for actually doing this. I'm not gonna say Sega Toys because fuck them. And of course, just like before, yeah, his eternal system, his cell system is literally well sculpted and well referenced. Anyway, you can also pull up the chest, well, his 6-pack piece here, and you can just, well, move it out of the way, which does make the removing his side rib pieces very easily, actually. And then you can just hold on, make sure that you also have unfold his mouth, and of course sometimes these horns does get a little bit bendy, but use a hairdryer and they will straighten out. And they also snap into place, like so. Just do it like so, make sure that they are folded up like so. And of course, before you do that as well, gonna fold up this piece as well, snap it in like so. Here we go. Then you just can take, well, this piece and the top of the head and just 2 clicks and you're good to go. And of course, I will show you one piece that is kind of a little bit, if you get this figure, do take note that this kind of collar piece does tend to pop off because it is a separate piece, considering this is a basically, well, mirrored piece. Like the front and back are the same, so the front here is literally just basic, while this cradle is literally for the back. But if it does happen that this one is a little bit loose, all you need to do is just stab some super glue, let it dry, and once you do that, make sure that you, well, pin it in and out a little bit, and once it kind of dries up, when you remove it, let it sit for either, well, for the night or just a few minutes, but also make sure that you also dry it up a little bit. Don't let the super glue still be there, and once you've done that, everything should be in place, like so. Anyway, let's just make sure that everything just snap into place, which all you need to do is just make sure that these pieces are, well, hooked in, and you're good to go. I'm gonna put the head last, well, later on, but for now, let's just endorse this beauty of a thing. And now let's just move on to the skirt pieces, like so. All you need to do is just fold it up like so. You can do a part separator, but hey, I'm just doing it my way. And yeah, everything, the fact that everything just, all the planet pieces on the surface just compact and actually becoming the robot is just much better than what the fuck HasLab was doing. Like, what the fuck are they smoking? I don't care what people think if they are like it or not. The fact that the HasLab Unicron is basically, well, RC, but a planet size, the Earthrise RC or MP Masterpiece RC, but a planet size robot, it just is the laziest. Yeah, I still said that kind of line. Fight me. Anyway, before many people are gonna comment down below how dare I say that, which I don't give a crap. Let's just fold these panels up and then make sure that these skirt pieces here are pretty much rotatable like so. So you can literally take this skirt piece and make sure that you move them a little bit inside so that you just make sure that they rest here to make the process a little bit simpler. And of course, make sure that everything, well, rests as they should. And then you just make sure that you have these legs straighten up. Hold on. Make sure that the legs are both rotatable here. And then you make sure that these very satisfying but also very tight as ratchet joints, which they are needed, are literally angled like so. So the process will be simpler. And then you just rotate the lower knee pad, the lower section of the legs, And then you just fold up this piece, and then you just rotate it, and boom, another panel done. And just to be clear, you can also use this part separator and just make sure that these cracks split up a little bit easier. And again, you need to be gentle and firm when you transform this guy. Don't be way too rough. But maybe some rough when it comes to these joints, but here, be gentle when you do it. Because it is a 16 plus action figure that is for adults, so it is not meant for kids. But make sure that you unfold these panels, which yes, they are made of clear plastic inside, but then again, the people criticize them also praise the clear plastic on the mainline and official Hasbro products. So yeah, those people literally praising them. We can literally take their invalid criticism, put it in my ass. I don't give a shit. Anyway, just make sure that this piece right here is literally separated, and then you just fold this piece like so, and then you just make sure that this ball jointed, well, this panel that is on a ball joint, or just fold up like so, and then just snap it to place, and then you do the same, just hook it up together, and then you just fold up the feet, and then you just clamp it all together, but not just yet. But then you take these extraordinary die-cast metal, well, toes or heel parts, and just rotate it until it becomes, well, a smooth surface or round surface. Anyway, it is impressive. And then you just fold up this panel, and then you just make sure that everything that is literally pure origami. Hold on. Here we go. Just fold it up, and then you just put it up together to literally form this. Now, for the process of literally getting these legs to this area, all you need to do is just make sure that they are clamped into place like so. And of course I forgot to mention this part, but don't worry, it makes sense a little bit. Now, there is a way to transform him with these arms. All you need to do is to make sure that these pieces are out of the way, which you can literally now pull these one down, maybe, and then make sure that everything is lined up. All you need to do is just make sure that this knee is angled up, slide down, and of course having these skirt pieces out of the side so they don't clash in. And then you just do that. Make sure that everything, and I do mean everything, is literally lined up, even the skirt pieces, and then you can move them up easier. And then make sure that hold on, that these clips are going to these ports here. It is a little bit difficult to see, but trust me, they are there, and they are fundamental for this overall transformation. And make sure that the overall thigh is literally inserted all the way, and make sure that these side panels, like so, are literally open up so that this panel can literally insert itself to the leg, like so. It does take a little bit of force, but trust me, it is well executed. And to remove it, don't worry, just be passionate. And there is a way to remove it. All you need to do is just, well, as I make some sound and accidentally remove one of these panels, which you can just make sure that you move these pieces out of the way. But all you need to do is just be gentle and do that, and everything should be in place. So it is not that complicated as many think it is. It is quite simple. It's just that you really need to be patient when you transform him, because not a lot of things are the way you think it is. It takes some time, but yeah. Again, as I showed before, just have your thumb like so, and then you just move it to the side, and you can just slide it out. Like, once you have this kind of removed, which is on an angle, again, hold on. Let me bring you a little bit more better perspective. Okay. Hold on. Okay, I gave it a little bit of light, but as I stated, you see here, have your thumb like so, and your hand on this panel, and make sure that you wiggle it a little bit, and then the other piece right here, you don't need to pull, but shift, and then unlock it. So the overall process is not that difficult that many people seem it is. It's just that you need to be specific how you transform him. And once you actually master it, the process becomes more and more comfortable and a lot more satisfying. It's just that a lot of things that you see, well, right here on the screen, it needs patience. Not a lot of things needs to be, well, panels and all that sort of stuff. But if you're gonna execute something, you need to do it right. And let's just do it the same way as the other one. Just make sure that you rotate them, which of course, I do forget to mention, take your part separator and just remove these, well, unlock these panels first before move on to the next process, which is literally clamping these ones together to lock everything into place. But of course, find a way to literally get these rotated, because again, you need a lot of muscles, and considering this is an auto product, they really want you to literally work for it. Because again, just like Crimson Wing, the best products is always has this kind of transformation that is quite complicated. But again, once you master it, it becomes more satisfying and more rewarding. It is not, which of course it is really nice to have something that is simple, but a lot of things like Planet Transformers, you need to be more, well, careful what you do, because sometimes not a lot of things is literally needs to be a kind of a challenge when you need to transform it the fastest way. A lot of things takes time, and honestly, taking time is like waiting for a 3D printer to finish the thing that you really want. A lot of things has a lot of things that you need to wait for, which yes, it is a little bit convoluted, but it has this kind of dopamine effect that rewards you afterwards, because a lot, just like life, the things that you want as a child but you can get it because it's expensive, well, there's a reason why parents don't literally give you everything at once, because if they literally give you the things you want without any reasoning or reward, and if they just give you for like every single time, it becomes not satisfying. All I'm trying to say is that they don't want kids to be spoiled, and literally wants them to feel rewarded, because if you get everything all at once without limits, all of it becomes boring. So do take really good time, and honestly really need to, in some way, shape or form, just relax, take it slow, just like life. Not a lot of things needs to be, well, exactly how you want. Don't exactly get everything you want immediately. Just work for it, and the satisfaction will be more effective. What I'm trying to say is that if you work for it, the product that you always wanted in your life becomes more justifiable and satisfying. It is a way that life usually works. I may speak gibberish right now, but trust me when I say, when I literally transform him, I literally want to explain the reason why things like these are happening. Because a lot of time people always tend to argue, which some of them, like Haslab Unicron, is more justifiable because it's just flaps and no satisfaction. With this, it has more of the satisfaction of transformation, which I know some may not like it, but a planet-sized robot like this does need to have some sort of challenge, but also feeling like it is a planet that transforms and not just shell forms. Because a lot of things from Unicron, when Unicron transforms, a lot of the parts, like the arms, does have that kind of, well, resting there, but the legs does shift outward like how they literally did here. And the parts like the chest and the skirt piece does transforms regularly, which is literally what 01 Studio wants to achieve with this. And this is the reason why many people really love this product, is because, well, it has more of that satisfying click and security that many crave. And again, I think they really nailed it out of the park. Now, as for our boy Cell, all you need to do to lock these pieces here is to have everything locked into place, but also lined up perfectly, and have this hooked into this slot, and make sure everything is lined up. And of course, having the knee completely angled in. Like so. Again, just take it slow. Boom. Then just angle it like so. Because sometimes it gives an illusion that it doesn't fit, but trust me, in person, it does. It's just that sometimes your neurons tends to get stressed because you think it is impossible, but in reality it is possible. You just need to take it slow and relax. Just breathe in and breathe out. Well, I literally have I got a Maxor video playing in the background while I literally transform him, because it does give a little bit more kind of chaotic nature, which is a little bit fitting for this guy, because, or this being, because he is quite the chaos bringer. And if someone is gonna be named Chaos Bringer, it should be this guy. It should be this goddamn chaotic devil. Anyway, then you're gonna tap these side pieces into these pegs, which does lock the whole leg panel into place. Again, just like I stated before, be careful and relax, because sometimes it does take some passion and some relaxation to literally get it just right. And I gotta say, the way they handle it is quite impressive. And while I am a little bit of a somewhat chaotic and a bit clumsy, the way I literally am transforming him does feel a lot satisfying, and honestly has this kind of dopamine effect, because I am literally transforming a chaotic planet-sized robot that eats planets that has life, which is incredible. And the fact that all of these are from different parts that become specific parts for the robot just becomes incredible. And you can also cradle him in this area right now, which I will do now. And now you have, of course, cell mode. Of course, I haven't transformed these guys yet, but yeah, this is literally how they advertise him, because they didn't want to be having the CMD, which is understandable, but it does also make the process a little bit simpler, I say, while also fumble the bag a little bit. But then again, sometimes to get the things you want, you need to work for them. Just like work. It does take time, as I stated before, but once you have and save up, all of this will literally feel rewarded. And honestly, I am quite happy that I'm transforming him. I don't give a crap what others say about this type of transformation. This feels actually a challenge that is quite justifiable, that this actually feels like a robot becoming a planet. Like all his body parts becomes this incredible robot, this incredible planet that is just, I have no words other than just feel amazed that I am actually transforming him right now. And I just still feel a little bit flabbergasted that I spent this amount of money on a robot, on a figure that I always wanted in my life. And considering I saved it up the right time when it was on stock, and literally has the upgraded wings, and literally having all of the parts actually being the right colors, such as the shoulder panels here being orange instead of just regular gray, just feels right. And even the back, where the arms usually are, they are orange, which is honestly incredible. Just incredible. Now you can have the regular, you can have the head just inserted now, but I'll just wait until, well, I have everything just in line, or everything completely transformed. Anyway, now we move on to the arms, which all you need to do is just relax and take these pieces and just make sure that they are folded out. Make sure that you have the spot where you can fold it out, like so. Then take this shoulder panel, make sure that it is, well, careful. Anyway, make sure that, well, this panel actually folds back on you instead of just screw everything up. But yeah, once you've done that, just fold up these panels like so. Then have this panel, the shoulder panel right here where the wings usually are, which would be a challenge, but considering we have removed them, it is a little bit simpler. Anyway, now for the lower arms, all you need to do is just crumple up the arms like he's forming a fist, like so, and then just fold in the arms, the thumb inside. Take your part separator, with or without part separator, of course. You can fold it up just like so, and I do recommend that you fold down these spikes just to make it a little bit simpler. And wait, then you just untab this piece, fold it up, then make sure that you rotate it inwards. Then you need to rotate these panels so they are angled like so, and be careful with these spikes. I recommend when you spin this, you actually need to fold it a little bit upward, well, fold them up so you don't clash anything. But right now, fold this panel where it actually covered the gap. Then you just make sure that you ratchet the fist so everything can fold in like so. And now fold in the arms. And now you have an arm completely covered. Angled. Use the elbow joint. Then you just fold this piece like so. And make sure that everything is lined up and actually converted. And then make sure that this circular piece tabs into this port. And then make sure that it is lined up like so. And then just fold everything up. Fold everything up. Well, actually, before that. Yeah, make sure that this piece also folds inward like so. So everything is completely lined up, which I recommend that you first fold like so. So it will be a little bit simpler. Then you take this piece, use a part separator, which I do recommend, but make sure you can also do it the other way and just, well, fold these tabs up, but it is easier with a part separator, like so. And then make sure that everything is in place. Once you've done that, you take this piece and then actually you take these tabs and then you just insert it into these holes. And make sure everything is completely lined up, which is why I recommend that you do this. And make sure that you open up these panels, because you need a lot of room when you kind of need to transform him, because this takes time and patience, because you are gonna have to utilize the ratchet joints, but also make sure that everything, and I do mean everything, is completely right. And of course, right position, because if you do the incorrect way, everything will not work. Everything will be very complicated. But once you've done that, make sure that these are aligned and that this skirt piece is, or this port, this tab, is inserted inside the skirt pieces so it will lock into place. And once you've done that, and of course align this piece, which is why I recommend you actually have every single tab again. You need to be patient. Patience. Actually, the simpler way is to literally have the elbows ejected inside like so, and then make sure that the elbows are literally ratcheting in, And now you can literally have, if you can see correctly, I have everything aligned, and then you just make sure that everything ratchets inside correctly, like so. Which is why I recommend that you fold these panels first, because, well, unfold these ones so that you get so much clearance and much, well, a little bit more kind of space that you can see what you're doing instead of just random guess it. But once you've done that, you just make sure that you tab everything into place. But don't worry, take your time, as I say. Take your time. Don't worry if everything doesn't go right. There we go. Make sure that everything is aligned and right. And once you have done that, you can literally have the things you want. You hear that lock? That means that everything is correctly aligned. Like I said, patience. And once patience has given you what you want, you can now finally make sure that everything you have perfectly aligned and tab everything into place. It may look frustrating, but it is rewarding afterwards. Just relax. Breathe in, breathe out. There we go. But of course, make sure that your mistakes, always make sure that you also have all the panels that you've done. But again, when you see a mistake, don't worry, it is a way to fix it. And I do love that these panels actually are still, well, still have a little bit more of that resistance. Again, I do recommend that you have these panels up, otherwise everything will be a little bit complicated. But once you have done, well, get the things you want, snapping into place, make sure you lock these tabs in, which I forgot to mention. Because again, accidents does tend to happen if you don't pay attention, which is why I recommend you pay attention before you do anything. And why you do need to have these square pieces up, because I do recommend that you have everything lined up. It does seem a little bit okay. Again, this is a result of stress, which you should be careful, because stress can be a distraction. And stress is not what you should have. But there we go. Now, once you've done that, make sure that the other arm right here, has you covered. Sorry. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. The very thought of you is like the sea. Close my eyes and you remain close to me. When you're in my arms, my sorrow disappears. Truth I always be. Love has dispersed my soul. It is pretty clear. Don't you hear? Woo! Squeaky. Squeaky, squeaky, squeaky. Do 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 do. Now everything is just how it should be. Just careful. Gentle and firm. Gentle and firm. Boom. Of course, everyone has their own kind of experience. Everyone can enjoy complicated things. Everyone just loves simpler. Everyone hates complication. Everyone hates simplicity. It doesn't matter. What matters is that what the difficulty should be, because not all complicated things should be just simply. A lot of wonderful figures are quite complex, but it is the nature. It is to be expected when you get that product. So not all things should be given you in a silver platter. You need to work for it. And yeah. There we go. Now that everything has been compressed, the one thing you should have is aligning the things to your very liking. Unfortunately, we have space. We have strategy. And once those things have been achieved, and quite honestly, actually having some very clever engineering, I am very pleased to say that 01 Studio actually thought out to literally getting him into a ball, while also feeling that his transformation actually has some meaning instead of just being, well, a shell. That this shell actually becomes part of the body instead of just the, well, shell just hanging from the robot. It just feels cheap and lazy. This actually achieved actually being the bar parts, but in a very satisfying and clever way. Sure, not everything is perfect, but I'd rather have something that is having imperfections than having something that is completely perfect in one mode, while the others suffers a lot. And once you have everything, and I do mean everything, that you see right here, and make sure that every surface of this cell, get it, actually locks everything into place, which it sounds like it. You can now process the one mode everyone wants. Now you can have the head, which you should just insert it inside like so. Boom. close everything up like so, and you can either have, well, I will show you. You can now transform the wings to become the Saturn-like wings he had in the film, which you have two options. One of the options are, of course, either having these parts, which are supposed to be, well, the way he's supposed to suck in the planets, the lights where he is about to consume the planets he's consuming, or you can literally have these connected to one of each other to become, well, his other, well, sort of planet mode rings. And this process is, let's just say, is the biggest risk that you will ever experience, because this is honestly quite a risky progress, because not only do you have two flexible plastic, but the clear plastic that you're working with honestly has let's just say, hold on, just make sure that I just insert these swing. Woo! And also, oh, and of course, be careful when you insert them, because I don't want everyone to almost throw this on the ground and then it just breaks, because that would just be both comedic and that's very, very, very tragic. There we go. Now you can have it like so, which I will show you one process, which is just having these rings This is a little bit a complicated and very, very, very risky kind of process, because what you're gonna do is to have these rods connected, but also make sure that these two connected are also in some way or another inserted like so, which of course is the most riskiest I have ever seen. And I will agree with Lazy Eyebrow that I too am not a fan of how they designed this, but it is possible, which I will show right now, while also showing you off this very, 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 and I'm not doing this all for you all. I want to give you all my way of showing you all the possibilities, because this is one of many things that you can do. And yeah, it's not for everyone and it is not perfect, but this kind of solution is of course one of many. Whew. So much. Well, I think I'm gonna make a separate kind of video. One just showing off the transformation, just uncut, and when I literally am doing a full-on review of this guy, I'm just gonna have him just with editing instead of just showing off well, the whole process just regular, so that you don't have your time wasted. But I just want to show off my struggles just regularly. And now you have one of the many options, which is option A, having the planet mode but with these tubes. And this is the one of the many alternative way of displaying the planet mode. Now this, as I stated before, will agree on Lazy Eyebrow, this is the most riskiest and stupidest way to have the planet mode stored. And I really just don't like how this just, see, don't get me wrong, it's still stable and it still holds the planet well, which is of course, well, I both like it and hate it. It's a sort of a 50-50. But yeah, it is sometimes not all things does plug into place very well. And it does bring the biggest problem with this planet is longevity. Because sometimes lead plastics isn't always the sturdiest. Now, again, this is one of many. And sometimes when it comes to this, risk always happens. And so I want to show you all of what I want to do instead of just... and this is also one of the many things you can do with this planet, and I do love how this actually works, is that this is, well, a Unicron that has rings, but the rings are separable, which I actually really like. I like how they actually managed to do this. Sure, it is a little bit of a parts forming, but again, I am okay with it. I mean, considering this is a goddamn giant plant-eating robot, if it's just solid, it would be impossible. But yeah, everyone has their own flavor. Now, second off is how you display the second option, which actually does advertise this planet, which is just rest the whole planet like so. Just how you display him in his kind of regular kind of a short ring options, which I do love that this is actually how they advertise this. And then the second crap. Woo! You can literally take the second optional mouth, which honestly does look movie accurate, and you can also oh, looks awesome. You can literally just display him, well, just do, if I can find, there we go. That actually looks pretty sick, and that looks good. But yeah, again, it is a good alternative, but I do not recommend this kind of display option, which is why, I mean, the first one and second are the way they want you to do it, which it is fine. But I do love that Lazy Eyebrow actually managed to do a 3D printed one. But if you don't have a 3D printer, the first and second are the only kind of recommended options. But if you want the most safest, you can literally 3D print it, which this one I kind of made a little bit too short, but hey, it's the only way I could do it. And yeah, this is actually a little bit better. And honestly, now I can literally take these spikes and just move them out, because now we are done with the whole converting this planet into a this robot into a planet phase. And just make sure that everything is straightened out. And of course, I also shown the way how you kind of connect it with, of course, short, long, short, too long with thick connectors, and these angled. Hold on, if I can find one. Yeah, these angled ones, you need to literally connect them like so, and then just clip it in, and you're good to go. And then too short here. And just like the other side, and yeah, let's just say that once you have achieved... Oh no, yeah, you don't need to have this inserted here. You can literally angle it like so and you'll be fine. So don't worry, just take your time. And once again, as I stated before, once you have achieved the robot mode, you can now just gaze upon this gigantic planet-eating robot as a finished process of my transformation. And I'm just gonna put Cybertron with one of his mouthpieces just to show off the overall planet modes. Holy crap! This, well, the transformation for this guy was very complicated, and sometimes for some of you may see this as very convoluted. I will say this does feel satisfying to transform than Seeds, because Seeds, as we all know, is just, yeah, no, fuck off Studio Cell 01 Studio. Unicrons actually feels rewarding, and this does actually have this kind of risk and reward kind of feel. And yeah, the amount of risk that you have in this is present, but the reward for it to get this planet mode is just... I just cannot fathom that this is a finished product that is literally a robot that's crumbled together to form this planet-eating planet. Actually is possible, and yet here we have it. And here we have this kind of used copy of Cybertron, well, Primus in his Cybertron mode, and you can see all the areas that is present here, like Iacon, which I think it's Iacon, because it's the only area that has its own kind of piece. And of course here we have Kaon, which is of course the place where the Decepticons usually are. But yeah, the fact that it actually has Easter eggs of, well, Cybertron's history is incredible. And of course here we have a Gap, which again, used copy. But the fact that I have both Unicron and Primus together, just showcasing you how big these two are. And for size comparison, here we have both of them with Doomslayer. Hold on. Like, that's insane. And another comparison, here we have, well, both of them, and Doomslayer with Solus Prime, which is of course the New Age. And here we have them next to Core Class Optimus Prime. Again, just showcasing you how big they are and why they are not going to scale well with any Transformer ever, because why would you? This is actually a really good scale for both of them. One of them is literally a planet of life, the other is literally a planet chaos, destruction, and just utter hell. It's incredible. And I will pinpoint many things about them in my review, but for now, for this an hour long kind of transformation for both of them, which Primus is the most simplest, which you can have with or without the Cyber Planet key. I did it without, which of course just showcase the way I transform it, which is of course showing my Sigma level of transforming a planet without the key. Yeah, that was kind of cringe. I don't know why. But yeah, Unicron, I just want to showcase you all just without any editing. For now, I might edit this in my review. But yeah, this is outstanding. And honestly, I am very happy with the results. I will see you all in my full-on review when only time will tell when it's gonna happen.